The first thing I need you to understand is that there is nowhere in the world like Michigan. It has the second longest coastline of any state after only Alaska, 3,200 miles of entirely freshwater shoreline. The only countries in the world with more frontage on major lakes are the US, Canada, and Russia. And Michigan is just one average sized state. But this place's oddities go far beyond the four Great Lakes it borders. So here's the geography of the Wolverine State explained in less than 3 minutes. Are you ready? Here we go. Michigan is an extremely uniquely shaped state in the Midwest with the largest territorial waters of any lower 48 states. When you include those waters, it's the largest state east of the Mississippi, roughly comparable in area to New Zealand. It's also America's 10th most populous state with just over 10 million people, as well as the only state comprised entirely of peninsulas, the Lower and Upper Peninsula separated by the Straits of Mackinac. Michigan is the only state that's separated into two large disconnected landmasses. If I gave you a blank map of this area and asked you to draw the state borders, you wouldn't in a million years guess the shape of Michigan. The strange shapes of these peninsulas are entirely thanks to ice. During the last ice age, massive continental glaciers repeatedly advanced and retreated across this area, flattening hills and scraping out huge basins, leaving behind thousands of lakes and thick layers of sediment. Despite being right next to each other, though, the two peninsulas are super different. 97% of Michigan's population lives on the Lower Peninsula. It's flatter, more temperate, and better suited to agriculture. Southern Michigan is in the Corn Belt, producing lots of corn, soy, and wheat, whereas further north, you'll find huge fruit orchards. The massive lakes serve to moderate temperatures, creating one of America's most fertile fruit belts. That same lake influence also causes notorious lake effect snow, though, dumping hundreds of inches of snow on western Michigan every year. And winds across the lake have created sand dunes up to 500 feet high. The largest city here is, of course, Detroit, and its location is almost single-handedly responsible for making Michigan one of America's most important states. It sits right on the narrow channel connecting Lake Huron to Lake Erie, just north of the Canadian border, making it a natural choke point for shipping coal, iron, and grain from the Midwest to the East Coast. This access to transportation and raw materials helped make southern Michigan the heart of the American auto industry. And in fact, Detroit was originally the state capital of Michigan before it was moved inland to Lansing out of fear that Detroit was too easy to invade by boat. Cross the Mackinac Bridge to the north, though, and you'll enter a different world, the Upper Peninsula, or UP. This place is the size of Indiana and yet only has 300,000 people, making it one of the sparsest regions in the Midwest. Thin soils and a short growing season make agriculture hard here, so the traditional industries have been mining and logging. In fact, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is almost entirely tree covered, which explains why Michigan as a whole is more than 50% forested. In the western UP, you'll find the rugged Huron Mountains, home to the state's highest point, the 2,000-foot Mount Arvin, and north of that, you'll find Isle Royale National Park, the fifth largest lake island in the world. As a general rule of thumb, as you travel north across the state, you go from a densely populated industrial powerhouse to complete subarctic wilderness, passing sites like Traverse City, Mackinac Island, and Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore on the way. Michiganders, let me know in the comments what I missed, and everybody else, let me know where you think we should go next. Thank you so much for watching. Follow for more.